Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. Hopefully today our internet is better. I already hear the whistles and bells going off on all of my other devices that we are live, so I do know on Tuesday it took a good 2-3 minutes for it to show up, and it was super fuzzy, and I have no idea why. The only difference I did today, which I have never done in the past, is we turned our TV off so all the internet connection would come out to my craft room. So hopefully that did the trick. It does seem like it is working now. So if you are just logging on, say hi so I know you're here. So today's card is kind of not really a card. I don't even know how to describe it. Okay, I'll just say it. My thought is I want to show you guys how to make a mask. So the card is not very simple. It's not generic. It is an absolutely gorgeous card, but the thought process behind it was using your Stamparatus on making a mask. I do that a lot during classes and retreats is I use masks, and maybe somebody doesn't really know what that is or how to make one. So that is what I'm going to show you guys tonight. We are going to make some beautiful cards with it though, which is always a plus, I think. Hopefully you guys had a great day. I spent 90% of my day in the craft room. I had to leave about 2:30-ish to run some errands and lovely doctor's appointments. Pretty sure those are going to be pretty consistent for a little bit for me, but that's okay. But hopefully you guys had a good day. Good evening, Darlene. If you're just logging on, say hi so I know you're here. I did post on Facebook one of the items we're going to be making in the November 5th class, and I did bring it over here so I can show you guys what it looks like live, and it is so stinking cute. So I was very excited that I got that done. It has been on my to-do list for a while, and I finally got it done today. Okay, let's flip you over so we can start crafting. Hello, Teresa. How are you? I am just going to make sure we are live on my iPad, and I did hear it go off, so it might just take a second for it to populate. Okay, so let's start with the, I don't know, I called it a wreath, but my daughter told me it wasn't a wreath, so I honestly don't know what it's called, but it is absolutely cute and adorable, and it will look perfect sitting on your table for Thanksgiving or for the fall season. So one of these is included in your card class. We're going to make 2 additional cards, so you'll get 4 because we'll make 2 of each of those, and then you'll get this beauty. It is pretty sturdy. I wouldn't throw it against the wall or drop it, but it is pretty sturdy, and it's super fun, and it was so easy to put together, and I'm super excited to show you guys how to do it. So there is that. Yes, it's a pumpkin. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Heather. Oh, I just texted you. Okay, so today's card I am going to be featuring. It's an oldie, but it is still in the catalog, and it is a goodie. Oldie but goodie. I love the Let's Celebrate You. I love Thanks a Bunch. I love all of the sentiments, but I love, love, love this great big sunflower. We were supposed to do a family photo shoot at the sunflower farms last Sunday, but our photographer got sick. So I am so super sad that we didn't get that done because Lucas and I were going to totally match in our little bib overalls. But that's okay. But we are going to be playing with sunflowers today. It does have a matching die set that goes with it. This cuts out the larger sunflower, and this one cuts out all of the little itty bitty pieces, so you just get the the outer pieces of the sunflower. And then you have all of the leaves, and you also have this guy right here. So it is definitely a fun set. If you don't already own it, I definitely would get it. So, we are actually going to be using, I already left it out. We're going to be using this one. So that is the stamp sets and the dies. Let me bring in the card. So this is the card that we're going to be doing. And I knew I wanted to make 5 of these cards. And I bet you're guessing, how did you know you wanted to make 5 of these cards? Well, guys, I hope you're sitting down because this is going to blow your mind. I promise. I had one strip of designer series paper, and after I cut it down to 1.5 by 5, I had 5 pieces. So that is what made me decide to make 5 of these cards. Crazy, right? I could have cut another sheet if I wanted to, but I actually am using it for the little pumpkin wreath. So I didn't want to cut that until I prepped for the pumpkin wreath. So I had a strip that cut 5 pieces. So that's why I'm going to make 5 of these cards. And it is 1.5 by 5. And then we probably won't get all 5 of them done on the Facebook Live, which is totally fine. I just want to show you how to make a mask so you can mass produce any card that you're designing. So this is the piece that goes on the front. This is 3 3/4 by 5. And I just pulled out some basic white, and I do have 5 pieces. It's 4 by 5 1/4. And that is just going to be for the piece on the inside. You don't have to because I am using crushed curry. It is a lighter color, so you could definitely write in a black pen. But sometimes I just think having the white piece on the inside just makes it a little bit more elegant. So there's those pieces. And then I have the crushed curry card base, and this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it right in half at 5 1/2. Okay, so let's get to what we are really focusing on is making a mask. So I have my Stamparatus here. I do have the plate, the foam that goes inside. When you're using red rubber, you don't have to have this foam, but I tend to stamp everything with it, red rubber or photopolymer, just because it gives it a little bit extra thickness. And you can see I have some washi tape in there. I was probably doing something else with it. Who knows? But it's covered, so I always forget it's under there. So definitely I would keep your foam piece on no matter which stamp sets you're using. So hello, Christina and Mary. Welcome. Okay, so I'm going to grab the sunflower stamp, and it's this big guy here. I am just going to take a scrap piece of paper. There is no specific dimensions for it. You just need to make sure that it will fit your sentiment that you're trying to stamp. So I'm going to set my stamp right on top of the paper in the center, and I'm going to close the lid, and I'm going to push gently. You don't need to white knuckle it, just push gently on it. And now it is stuck to our plates. So our very first one is really the only one that you have to kind of make sure is perfect. Because once you get it perfect, you can stamp this a million times and it will be in the same exact spots. So I'm going to ink this up really well. I'm going to close that so I don't get it on my white shirt. Make sure your paper is tucked up into the corner, and I'm going to close it. And again, I'm going to give this some good even pressure. It is a larger stamp, so you do want to go over a little bit more, and you can lift it off. Now let's just say on our very first one, a piece of this did not ink up or did not stamp right. You can take your ink again, stamp it, and then redo it. As long as you don't move this white piece, as long as you don't take it and rotate it. If it moves like it just did right there, as long as you tuck it up in the spot, it'll be in this, it'll still work. So you can re-stamp this as many times as you need to. And usually with red rubber, you can't do that. You can't line it up perfectly. Okay, so now we can take this out. And I will do a little tidbit. On this stamp, I put a little tiny black mark right on the corner, just because this guy can be a little difficult to line up. So doing that, I put the same black mark here, so I know it is going to be cut like that. So I'm just going to make sure that I pulled this out right, and I did. So the black mark is going to go over here somewhere. It might not be perfect, so you still might have to wiggle it around. Oh man, hopefully I did that right. I swear I just did this. Let's see if it's off a little bit. There it is. Okay, I was completely off. And I don't have a black marker beside me, but that's okay. So now that I'm going to grab a piece of Post-it tape, can you see how this, because there's so many little tiny pieces, that it is a little bit hard to line up. So once you find that exact spot, mark it. So I'm going to grab a piece of washi tape just to hold this in place. Give that a good press. And I'm going to pick the whole thing up and set it aside just because I don't want my die to wiggle. And I'm going to bring in my embossing machine. I have all of my plates layered. And now I'm going to pick up my sunflower, set it down, make sure nothing wiggled and moved. And I'm going to cut this out. There we go. So now we have one sunflower that is already completely done, because we can definitely use this. And now, let's pull this off. There we go. We're going to set this right back in. And sometimes what I do also is take a pen or a pencil and just draw an arrow so you know this side goes up. Take our little sticky off, and now we have one that is complete, ready to go. So I have already pre-cut some of these. This is probably going to be the trickiest part, is finding, because I already pre-cut these, finding the specific spot. Oh, that actually wasn't too tragic. So make sure it's tucked up into the corner. You can also grab the magnets that are on the back. Do not touch the magnets together. They are super sensitive and they will break. So you can take that and it'll hold it in place. And let's ink this up again. You can do this with any die. It doesn't have to just be the sunflower. And I actually think I goofed. Only on a Facebook Live would that happen, right? Okay, so we are going to pretend that that is not there. And it goes, hopefully, this way. If not, oh crap, it doesn't go that way. Oh, Lordy. What am I going to do? There we go. Okay, mark it before you take it off. See, we always learn something. Okay, mark it before you take it off. Good thing I cut extra. I bet you guys are all laughing at me. I really don't know it all. Promise, I do not. So this is probably the trickiest part. Hopefully those are my kids texting me and not you guys laughing at me. But it's okay. You can totally laugh at me because I will laugh right with you. So I'm going to put the mask on. Now it will be perfect. So mark your mask before you take it off. Okay, so there we go. Perfection! I told you it works. And if you want it to be a little bit darker, you can totally lay it back in if you can find the spot that it goes in and ink this up again. There we go. Now it's a little bit darker. So there's two. So we might do another one, but I want to show you one little other trick before the ink dries. So I have my Wink of Stella, and I am going to gently push to get some of the Wink of Stella down the tip. And if you do this before it dries, you can add some glimmer, and it kind of smears the ink a little bit before it dries completely. And it kind of gives it a fun, different look. And you can do the center if you want as well. I did the center on my very first one, but doing just the edges, I think I like the center being just normal and the leaves having some color to it. So you don't have to do it within like seconds of you stamping it, but I wouldn't just sit and let it dry for a while. because the ink will dry permanently and it won't get that pretty kind of yellow on it. The blender pen does work as well. I just like the Wink of Stella because it adds a little bit of sparkle to it. So there's that. And let's go in and do this one. And see, this is the one that I stamped first. So you can kind of see that it's not wanting to pull the color as well as the first one, but it still is pulling the color. Thank you, Jennifer. So just gently squeeze and more of your Wink of Stella will come out. And you can color all around. And I think it makes it a little bit more vivid. Oh, there's a mosquito or something flying around. Okay, so there's those two colored. So I'm going to set those aside just to let it dry, and we're going to just do one more because I want to show you that even if you take this off, as long as you put the little arrows on which way it's going to go, you can put this back in here. Set this on. As long as you don't move your stamp, it will stamp in the same exact spot. Once you move the stamp, you're going to have to redo your mask. Well, maybe we'll do another one. I can't even pick it up. There it is. Perfect. Once you find the golden spots, it is easier. So like I said, I moved the basic white piece, but I did not move the stamp. So I can stamp this a million times, over a million times, like infinity, and it'll be the same. So that's kind of the focus that I wanted to show you guys on tonight's live is if you're doing multiples of anything with me, I never just do one of anything. I do 150 or I don't do any. It's really hard for me to just do one. And if you use kind of my technique of I only had a specific amount of paper left and it cut 5, well, that means I'm making 5. So even making 5 using the Stamparatus will save you a lot of time. You just have to get that first mask and then you can stamp and go. There we go. So now we can just put our fun card together. There really isn't a lot to this card, but it is still super cute and beautiful. So again, my designer series paper is 1.5 by 5, and my basic white is 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm just layering this on. I'm going to grab some mini glue dots, and I brought in, we can't ever have enough glimmer and ribbon on our projects. So I brought in it is called the white, I guess it's just white ribbon, but it has glitter in it. We used to have black and I loved it, but they discontinued it. And then put a mini glue dot on the back of that piece. And I didn't tie a bow. I kind of wanted a bow on this, but this ribbon is a little bit thicker than normal. So I didn't tie a bow on it. And I actually want thanks a bunch. So I'm going to take this stamp off really quick, put this one on, bring in my crushed curry ink, and hope that I stamp this straight because I already glued it together and we can't flip it over. Oh, that's not tragic. I'm just going to go with it. Let's flip this over and add some dimensionals. And since it is a big guy, I am going to add quite a few, and we definitely want one in the center because we don't like anything that sags. So no sagging cards. And I'm just going to set this right there. And then I have some gems and my take your pick tool was around here a second ago, but it has vanished. So we will just use another tool. Now I just want to put 3 gems on here. And you could definitely put 1 or 2 on the flower, but I don't want it to be extra postage. So that's why I chose to put them on the bottom. Oh, good, Darlene. The DSP I'm using is the Rustic Harvest. Thank you for asking. I should have mentioned that earlier. So let's take our card base. We're going to give that a good crease. I've used the Rustic Harvest paper so much. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I put a little bit of Tombow right on the back side of the ribbon just to give it a little extra security to hold. So there we go. And then we're going to have our basic white piece that goes in the center. Make sure I grab the right size. And this would be the Let's Celebrate You could really be anything. It could be birthday, it could be anniversary, it could be a graduation, really anything. Since I have another one prepped, I don't know what time it is. Oh, we still have a couple minutes. We'll put one more together and I'll change the sentiment. I'm actually going to drop this one in the mail tomorrow. So that's why I needed thanks a bunch. And I probably, like I said earlier, should have stamped first just in case I needed to flip it over, but I got busy talking. So Let's Celebrate You. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to line up the bottom of the Y. I'm going to try to get that lined up right at the bottom. That's just going to help me kind of get it straight. That actually isn't too tragic either. We're done with the ink. Let's add some ribbon. Just wrap it around. And I don't usually cut my ribbon before I attach at least one side, just because I don't want to waste so much of it. Not that I can't get more, but I don't know. I just do. So there we go. Let's flip one of these guys over. Let's grab, there's a few big ones left on here, and then I will use some of the edges. And I usually cut them, but just for the Facebook Live, they tear just as easy. And we're going to do one in the center. That's definitely probably overkill, but that's okay. Thank you. I don't really do it for, I don't know, cost effective, I guess. I just don't like wasting things. And because you don't see the back of the ribbon, so why put it all the way around? That's my thinking anyway. Some people might disagree, which is totally okay. We can do whatever we like because these are our cards. And I'm a firm believer in you need to do what makes you happy. And making cards and making people smile makes me happy. I don't think that's the same size diamond, but it isn't. But that's okay. Honestly, if somebody gets this card in the mail, I bet they're not going to say, oh my Lord, she used the wrong size diamonds. I think they're going to look at it and be like, whew, diamonds. That's what I would say. Okay, so let's go ahead, put some adhesive on the ribbon edges just to hold it down a tiny bit more. There we go. And then our piece to go on the inside. Yes, smiles are good. Thank you, Bev. I didn't see that you logged on. Welcome. How is your soccer game? I think it's soccer. I hope it's soccer. She texted me earlier saying it was freezing. So there you go. Let's move all of this junk out of the way. And I actually still have 3 more to put together, but I will do that later. I just wanted to show you how to use a mask. So remember, as long as you don't move your stamp from this block, I should have told you guys, you can replace your piece it, I don't know what this is called. You can replace these and set this aside if you want to come back to it later. I usually just keep my mask with it, put a little washi tape on it, and it'll stick to the plate. And you can reuse the platform. And then all you have to do when you're ready to use it again is put this back in, and it's in the same exact spot. So you can get multiple plates for these. But as long as you don't move the stamp, you can definitely do this a million times. So hopefully you guys liked tonight's cards. I thought they were super fun, cheery, and definitely still a little bit fall because Sunflowers is kind of a fall-esque flower, I guess. I don't know, but I'm just saying that. It might not be. Who knows? But anyway, oh, it's softball. Sorry. I was close. It was an S. I get a few brownie points. Anyways, if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. I will be out all day tomorrow. My husband and I are going to spend the entire day together, and then I'm going to go play bingo with my girls. So if you need anything and I don't answer my phone, that is why. He gets to go run a million errands with me, which he is so excited. I can already tell. But other than that, I will be in the studio Saturday, Sunday, and pretty much all next week. So I will get back with you if you need anything. Hopefully you guys have a good evening, and I will see everybody on Tuesday for another live. Thank you, Bev. Have a great day. Bye-bye.